Hey everyone, Justin here. If you've ever studied economics, you probably know all about supply and demand. You know, the interaction between sellers and buyers for the exchange of goods and services, right? Well, today, we're going to be talking to Jonathan Foltz, a logistics manager. A reverse logistics manager. In this capacity, he plays a unique role in the buying and selling process, but in reverse? Stay tuned to find out how. Before we get into reverse logistics, let's take a second to figure out what logistics is first. According to Investopedia.com, logistics is the overall process of managing how resources are acquired, stored, and transported to their final destination. Whether it's a big industry or a small mom and pop shop, every business has logistical needs. A logistics manager's job is to supervise the movement, distribution, and storage of supplies and materials for that business. That is, keeping things moving along the supply chain from business to the customer. Jonathan works in reverse logistics. That's the movement of products backwards through the supply chain, from the consumer to the distributor. Sometimes they go even further back up the chain to the manufacturer.
We're dealing with all of the returns that come into our stores. So we're trying to find value for those and get them back to the vendor or find a way to make money off of those.
The term logistics is derived from the Greek adjective logistikos, which means skilled in calculating. In the days of the Roman Empire, the military administrative officer in charge of supplies was called logista. With time, it became a common military term for organizing the movement of troops and equipment while meeting their soldiers' basic needs, like food and shelter. During the COVID pandemic, medical experts used the term logistics to describe the organization and costs of a vaccination campaign. Think about it. How do you get millions of shots distributed across the nation to people? Who gets the vaccine? And when? All a matter of logistics. In Jonathan's case, he got involved with logistics purely on accident. In fact, he was pretty far removed from supply and demand, businesses and customers, at least as far as we're accustomed to thinking of them.
I actually went to Bible college. My plan was to be a missionary, and actually we did live in Africa for a few years doing missions work. The plan was to do that for our entire lives.
Because of a loved one's serious health condition, Jonathan and his family moved back to the United States. While his heart was still in mission work, he had to find a new way to earn a living while caring for his family. While in college, Jonathan worked in shipping for a trucking company. It was there that he gained valuable knowledge and experience in logistics.
I did not go to college for this. So basically what I had meant to do as a career just didn't work out. So when I needed a job, I went back to kind of what I knew.
Jonathan now works for a large retail company as a reverse logistics manager. He applies data analysis to match potential buyers with returned products in a cost-efficient manner. In this way, he's turning a potential loss into a profit.
I think just being able to kind of read data and see trends in it, and then maybe push people in the right direction to investigate something. So I think that's something I have a good aptitude with.
If you're working in logistics, math skills are obviously pretty important. Another skill is necessary too, and this one's growing in relevance.
Computer skills are paramount, I think, when you're thinking of this kind of work.
That's because the programs they're using are data programs. They organize and sort through data so that people can make informed decisions in order to maximize profits. For example, based on data from their reverse logistics process, the tech company Apple was able to enact a policy in which customers could get discounts on new products by returning their old ones in store. Not only did this generate some good publicity for Apple, but they were able to reuse parts from these returned products. Pretty smart. In school, Jonathan loved math and geography. Now in logistics, he can put what he's learned in those subjects to the test by analyzing and planning more efficient transportation and shipping routes and methods.
I was always really good at math, but maybe not the higher end math, but just being able to look at trends and analysis.
Knowledge of certain programs like Microsoft Excel is, of course, vital for logistics, but finding someone who's trained in using them? Well, that's an entirely different matter.
It's difficult to find people who have very high-end skills in those areas. And I would say that a lot of those skills are readily available, even taking courses online.
While technology is a specific skill used in logistics, a wide variety of jobs can be found in such a career. Some work with entire shiploads of cargo, while others handle small parcels, perhaps even less than a truckload. But they all have at least one thing in common.
Everything within this field is kind of about getting a job done. At the end of every day, you want to look back and say, okay, what did I do today? And
the pay for logistics jobs is much greater than the average for all jobs. The median annual wage for a logistician is $76,270 per year, according to the U.S. Bureau of Labor. Logistics jobs are also expected to grow by 30% through the year 2030, much faster than the average projection for all occupations. Traditionally, a bachelor's degree is necessary for the profession, but some jobs will only require an associate's degree. In fact, the field ranges from jobs that need multiple degrees to those that only require a high school education.
Because you don't always have to have the most education, but you do have to have relevant job experience.
Of course, this relevant work experience will differ from job to job. Just as Jonathan's experience in shipping for a trucking company led him to his career in reverse logistics, entry-level jobs will often guide young workers into unforeseen career paths.
My advice would be, when you start working, make sure that you do things in your employment that transfer to many different places, and that you document those things.
Those things that Jonathan mentions will of course vary based on the job you have and the career you may seek in the future. For logistics, those skills include an eye for data analysis and problem solving. He added patience and persistence as necessary for the job, along with a willingness to keep learning.
I'm learning every day, even still, which is good, and I still have a ways to go.
Much of the learning involves technology.
Automation is huge. Where I'm working right now, we're constantly looking for tech solutions to improve just the efficiency of everything. So I think, being involved in those technology solutions is something that's really important.
Using technology to assist with data analysis and drive decision making, that pretty much summarizes modern logistics work. But Jonathan says that his job is like most others. It all comes down to making people happy.
You're always trying to please somebody, right? It's either a customer, a vendor, even maybe your boss or somebody along the line you're trying to please. And
this mindset and work ethic was instilled in Jonathan at a young age, and now he tries to do the same with his family.
If you go for what you have a natural aptitude for, and then you learn to love it, then that's a really good fit. And I think that's kind of where I'm at right now.
When he was younger, Jonathan Foltz never envisioned a career in logistics. As a young man, he achieved his goal of performing mission work. Today, he's happy with how his career in logistics has evolved and the choices he's made for his family. Jonathan, we wish you the best of luck, and we appreciate you taking the time to share your unique story and career with us. See you next time.